First thing on the, everybody have a chance to look over the minutes from our last meeting? Looks like we'll be discussing a lot of the same things we discussed last time. So do I have a motion to accept the minutes from our last meeting? Anyone? Cindy, thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, make seconds, and so we will accept those meeting notes. What's the first thing on our agenda? If we don't have anything pressing, that says creative aging grant discussion. Shar, did you have?
That's probably on me. So the state of Utah pretty much was encouraging all of the agencies to look into this creative aging grant that offers art acquisition skills and opportunities to participate in arts for, I guess, older adults. I talked to Gina at the senior center, and she thought that they would really like to try theater. And I said, okay, if you guys are excited about that, as long as you guys are doing it, because I am not the theater one, and the challenge of this grant is I've been through training, so I can, host the series, because you have to have at least one person who's been through the training involved in the series. But there's also, a list of artists that they have kind of pre-select, or have also taken the training, have dedicated into. And I reached out to the theater ones, and they are not available. They're just plain busy. So one of the artists is going to try to get me some more names, but I'm not having very much luck with kind of the messenger of the proposal that has to be turned in like the second week in December, so I don't really have a good update. I've kind of suggested other things, and they're doing a lot of other types of classes that could be completed art related. They're doing at university, so we're not giving up yet. It's just it's not coming together. Carla Hudson, okay.
So is this, they want to do theater, is that learning about theater, or is that actually performance? They want to put on a performance?
I think it would be learning, and then, certainly if there's an opportunity to kind of showcase the skills. It's supposed to be a 6-week course, so there are, there's time to learn, and then each of them has their own presentations, if that is what they would like to do. I think that would be a good opportunity to involve more interest in the group, to have kind of an end goal presentation that they could share with everyone. So, yes.
Charlene. Carla Huntsman does this thing with the teachers. I've worked with her before at BYU, and she's amazing. Like, she could get a group of people to do something, and if the seniors want to participate in drama, then she's the one to do it. It's not like they perform for the seniors, but they get the seniors to participate. Like, she'd have them do a group poem, or do like group activities where one person does something for the next one. So if it's a hands-on type drama workshop, then she knows how to do that so well. She's really good. She's done it with little kids and adults, teachers. But if it's more a performance, then BYU has some great outreach things too. But if they want the seniors involved in actually doing it, and that's what I thought they wanted, then Carla is really engaging for the seniors to be a part of it.
But
Yeah,
would she need to go through that training?
Well, you just have to have one person involved in the training, so, I was involved in the training, I took the training, because it was like 6 hours, so, yeah, that's an option. If she lives here in Orem, I can try and get some contact information, but if you have any,
I'll get some information and send it to you.
that'd be awesome. So that's just where that stands, is we're still just trying to put together the options. It took a little bit of time for one of the theater artists on the list to get back to me and let me know that she couldn't do it, so it's been a little bit slow. But we did get our Arts Council grant. We got $3,500 last year, and we got $4,000 this year, which is a little in the right direction anyway. And they're kind of looking at them as 2-year grants, so hopefully if their budget stays the same, we would have $4,000 next year. So we use that for the summer concerts and stuff like that. So that's good, because this grant pays for what we did July, because it is for this fiscal year. So it pays for the concerts that we've already had, and then next year we're kind of performing ahead of the grant, but that's just the way the state kind of works sometimes.
Gotcha. Okay, any other questions on the Creative Aging Grant? If not, we'll ask Cindy to give us an update on the Orem stories.
Okay, right now we have Orem High School is up in the library, and the library bought frames, I told you last time, and so they had like the photography teacher put students' work in the frames, and they wrote a little blurb, like an artist statement about the person that the picture was of. And then we have Orem Junior High is going up the 1st of December. And then in January, Anna Davis from Timpanogos High School, they do their project where they find a student and find something about them. So it would be, a story of a student, but they're still Orem citizens. And they're gonna put theirs up. She can't put it up the 1st of January, but it would be like the 2nd week. And then, let me get my list, just a sec. In February, I haven't firmed that down yet, but for March, we have Windsor Elementary's doing some, and for April, Bonneville Elementary is doing theirs. And then I don't have May, but and I'm still working on February. I've got to go twist somebody's arm for February. So I have like 3 elementary and then 2 high school and 1 junior high school participating. And the library wanted us to put them in the frames because I used to put all the little elementary kids things all over the windows, and every door and everything was covered with elementary school art, and I think it was a real pain for them to take it down, take all my tape down. I volunteered to go take it down, but they said, oh, no, we'll do it. But I'm sure they had to use razor blades and everything to get that tape off. So I think it was really nice of the library to buy the frames. Maybe that's something we could have done, or maybe we could buy some frames with some of our grant money for the future.
Charlene would have to tell us how we bought those frames, but with the coming online of Library Hall, we've moved some of the collection around, and so I'm sure they bought, the frames to try and just shore up that children's area as, gallery space. We have the gallery hanging system, and like it works well for the high school art show where that we've had that in the past, and those come in frames and different things like that. But I wouldn't worry about it. We're working with the team that just they don't grudge about much. So I'm sure they weren't complaining about
They're
the stuff on the
awesome.
windows.
They're so good to work with.
Yeah, they're good people.
Any other questions? the idea for the seniors, maybe we could have seniors do portraits, and it might be fun to have, you know, the seniors do some artwork and put senior portraits up in the library and tell something about themselves.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That's something if you want to work with seniors.
Yeah, I'll mention it to Gina and see if that's something that they could incorporate, because they have this series they call Brilliant University, and she said they were already doing watercolor and a couple of other art mediums in that series, and there was some interest in doing a Photoshop class, but the state felt we would need to kind of combine that with more photography and Photoshop, and they were already kind of doing some of that. So, but yeah, that'd be really cool to have some new seniors do it as well.
That's it. Okay. Update on update on the box, the utility boxes. John, did you have an update on that, or do we have? I know that.
I thought that at this point from our last meeting that most of the project was now in the hands of the gentleman who's, I don't know why I can't remember his name at the moment, the one.
Yeah, Nate Prescott is still working on it. He is building this, he calls it kind of a landing zone for the artists to submit so that we can have an official kind of call for artists. And then also we might be able to bid the application of the vinyl at that point and get a kind of a structured vendor for applying it. I did get, maybe, I don't know if I mentioned this last time or not, I did get some work from Cassie for the secondary box at the Sierra. It's just kind of in lots of different components. So I took it to the gentleman who recently photographed the city art collection for digitizing, because we put it on the Mountain West Digital Library. And he photographed the pieces, and then I just need to follow up with him and see if he was like going to take a stab at it, which I don't even know if he necessarily want that, but Cassie is not that confident in moving things around in those programs, and the gentleman who did the photography work was very confident, so he was possibly going to provide some renderings, and I will follow up with him. He was running for city council or mayor in another community, and he won, so that probably took up a bit of his time, but I'll follow up with him.
If you Photoshop work done, if you need Photoshop work done with those files, I mean, I can do it.
Okay.
And then I did see Nate at one of the State Street meetings. He said that he had verbal agreements with Rocky Mountain Power for the boxes, but he didn't have any officially written memos or memorandums of understanding at the moment, but he did have verbal confirmation with Rocky Mountain Power to do those. So, no. I don't know if we need to, at this point, if we want him to continue with that through the city attorney's office, or what the next step is for that. But it sounds like he's got that moving forward.
Ultimately, it would be best if we could get like a memorandum of understanding or agreement, which would kind of cover the process of applying it. Not that we would do it without their permission for box, but it would just cover the, the liability and all that kind of stuff. So I'll ask him where he is with that and see if we can kind of move it forward with Rocky Mountain and maybe Utopia again, and just see if we can get those in place for.
I can follow up with Utopia if you'd like, if we're ready to move forward and actually do some more boxes. And so I can send an email to the gentleman to help us with that original one and see. I just don't know if after that we just turn it back over to the city attorney's office, or what's the best way to do that.
Yeah, the city attorneys would draft the NOA or MOU for sure.
Okay. I'll send an email later today to him and say, hey, we want to be more serious about moving forward with some more and see what response we get then.
Yeah, now that we're in the winter months, I'm wondering the application, if they can put them on wrap boxes in cold. I know they can't do it in snow. We'll have
No, well, we can, and it can be done. In fact, the box that we had done at the Sarah was kind of done in this time frame right now, if I remember right. But it's not preferred, but when they go out there with some heat guns to kind of warm up the box and such. But yeah, this might be a better time for focusing on the artist, artist submissions, and so that when the weather improves, we can make a concerted effort at getting 3 or 4 up right away in the springtime, weather allowing. That's my thought, but it can be done now, but it's not ideal.
Yeah, I think it would even be possible to, work with a vendor and say we'd like to bid for, 10 or 15 applications at a time, so that they would maybe be more interested in a bigger job than just a smaller one-off, which has been a challenge. I'm not sure the status of the health of the one gentleman, but he was really good to do the small projects. But a lot of people right now are wanting more of a big project kind of a thing. But we'll follow up with Nathan on that.
Okay.
Do we have I don't know what kind of budget we have and how much each one is going to cost, but do you think 15 is with our budget realistic, or what number is realistic?
Well, we got a pair award, so they just have to be in pair kind of areas. That's the challenge for right now, is they have to be more in parks, in the arts district. Need to see if the attorneys are willing to let us put them anywhere else. But we have a good amount of money to do that. I think we have $25,000 for that.
Ah, that's a lot.
And we thought, we did talk to a number of people about, you can welcome our guests. We did talk to a number of people about other possible enhancements in the arts district at Sarah Park, because there are some doors and some other areas that seem like they would be suitable for art. Not that you want to make it, cheesy or anything, but you could do it, because the doors are like bright blue right now, so they could take, the visual impact, because they're already used to having a real bit of visual impact right there. And then, have we talked about the toddler park? So there's a toddler park. The toddler park at Sarah Park had just outlived its useful life. It wasn't safe, it needed to be removed. And so they kind of thought, well, this is the arts district, so is there something we could do to pull that new install, just because it's an opportunity to do it, into more of something that has some level of art theme with it. And so they actually have been pursuing, using any elements from James Christiansen's work that they could in that area. So it's not a fully fabricated park like the All Together playground. So they had to choose stock elements from playground companies, but like it's more forest and dragon and fantastically themed than say spaceship themed. So, and then they've been working directly with Cassie and the Christensen family to have art that they could like put on panels, that people could see some of the art and possibly read different parts about the art and the artist in that park. And so it'll be interesting to see how it all comes together. And as we see, I can't remember the install schedule, but they're definitely installing it this year. because the company didn't think that the winter would be a factor, so they should be installing it. It might be installed. I haven't been down there in a while, but so it's just something different to try and just reinforce that area is the arts district and it's a special area and might be interesting. I mean, there's always a call for putting art anywhere you can, and it's a good thing to have a conversation with younger people who may not have previously been aware of or kind of emotionally attached to James Christiansen's work. And so I think it was an idea worth pursuing for sure. And Cindy worked on it a little bit. The ultimate would have been to have the money to fabricate, fantastical pieces that looked exactly like his art, but then you're talking about $1 million playground and we don't have that. So they tried to pitch thoughtfully to make it both functional and in the spirit of the art, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm looking at the artist rendition of that park, and it looks like could be a lot of fun once they get it in and installed. Did you say that alligator is really not an alligator?
It's not an alligator. The alligator is a placeholder for a dragon, I think.
A dragon? Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A water dragon, specifically. I can't remember.
Anything else on the utility box artwork? We had a guest join us, but she didn't stay. Next on the agenda was the community sing-along program proposal. That was Nathan Christiansen wanted to talk about partnering with the was it Barbershop? Was it?
Yes, Barbershop Harmony Society, the local chapter.
In
where
putting together a gathering in February,
if possible. I am vice president of music and performance for the local barbershop chapter, so I have an in. When I talked to them about it, so I think Barry said that your wife wouldn't come if it was just to sing along.
I'm saying that's not her. That's not her thing. Everybody has their own things. We enjoy going to the Shakespeare in the Park, and some people wouldn't do that. Everybody has their own taste. So, when you're trying to cater to a wide variety in the city, you try to pick something that maybe they would do. And again, a lot of people love that type of thing. I'm just saying.
The director of the local chorus has said that, in his opinion, the sing-in would include a concert by the chorus. So the chorus would sing some songs, and then we'd sing some songs together with the audience. Probably get a broader interest if that was the case. Anything that the society chapter produces is covered under insurance. They pay for ASCAP, BMI, CSAC fees to be able to do the performance. And it's just that they don't have the budget to be able to rent the hall and don't have an advertising budget at all.
So I guess if I were looking at a proposal like that, I would want to see what it would cost as far as the Arts Council would be involved, and then what kind of oversight would need to happen from this council.
Right. The cost, if the council decides to pursue this, the cost to the council will probably be, a hard cost would be like $200 for the music package. And that's a one-time cost. The soft costs would be, can the council provide the hall free of charge? And any advertising, like in the mailer, city mailer or something, whatever cost that would be.
The mailer is an emailer.
Uh-huh.
Advertising is hard. It's mostly done on social media. And if we want to get the word out, we actually use the city's social media as well. But it's not pricey. It's just whether or not it's super effective. You can tell the number of people reached, but you target music lovers or different categories. But it's always challenging to get the word out.
Wouldn't there be a cost for sound?
There is a cost for sound that the Arts Council could pay for, but the Arts Council can use the building. We would just transfer, a little money from our account maybe to cover the sound.
If, well, I do sound reinforcement myself. I'm currently not singing with the chorus because I've gone back to college to complete a degree, and that's been taking up my time. But I can certainly coordinate with the chorus.
Well, so I guess the question is this something we feel that the Arts Council wants to sponsor? And I guess I lean on Charlene to say, is this something that, if we decided that we wanted to do, that the city would be on board with?
Yeah, let me look and see. So you're talking about Monday the 14th?
No, not on Valentine's Day. The week before, like, would be better because the chorus will be unavailable on the 14th.
I think they'll be busy, huh?
Yeah, they'll be doing Singing Valentine's.
Yeah, I'm sure there's availability now. Right now there's the hall is booked on the 11th, but there's other potential availability that week.
Would that be would you want to do that on a Saturday, or would you want to do that maybe on a Monday, the 7th or the 12th?
Our regular rehearsal night is Thursday. So, we've often done, just to make sure that the chorus is available, done performances on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do it. We just gotta go through it and decide. I mean, I don't know that you can commit to do it every year in perpetuity, but you just kind of look at it and see what you want to do and what you want to tweak and all that kind of stuff.
Any opinions from anybody on the council? Nancy, you're looking pensive.
I'm just wondering what kinds of ramifications it would have afterwards. I'm wondering two things. What kind of work and by whom would be involved in doing that? And then my second question is, would that put us in a position to have lots of people coming to us wanting to have us sponsor? I'm just wondering if there needs to be a mechanism or a system of some kind to handle this kind of request. Doing a community sing-in kind of thing is a popular thing around holidays, and so I'm not against that idea. I'm just wondering how it would all work and what would happen after. So.
Cindy gives a thumbs up.
So I envision taking this on as a personal project. So I'd be running it, the council would oversee, and I would do reports regularly. Since we the question about do we have what happens afterwards? What are the implications of deciding on this? Is a good question. I'll need to give that some more thought.
Yeah.
And,
So would this be billed as a concert or a sing-in type thing, or both? And have we had that kind of thing in the last few years, and was it successful or well attended or what?
I don't think, well, we've had Messiah sing-ins
Right.
all over the place. And those do include, some of them include the full litany and have the soloists sing, some soloists sing with, in their parts, and then the congregation sings with, for the choir pieces. They have been successful as far as I know. They still keep doing them. Lamb of God is another thing but I think it would be billed as both. I'd like to bill it as a sing-in, but but having the concert elements to see.
I don't see I don't see a downside of doing something like this. I guess my only question would be to see what kind of participation, if we try to do our best to this and get it out there and we have, 30 people show up in is that going to be a disappointment, or is that going to be, well, we did what we did and then we decide whether we do it again?
Yeah, that's our typical audience for our Christmas show. It's 30 people.
And so that's the question, is do we...
And they are like friends and family and some other people that like barbershop, and they come in, and we would bring that audience with us.
Okay. Mrs. Martinez, did you have your hand raised? Did you have something you want to add to this discussion?
Hello, yes, I'm sorry I'm late. I just joined, but can you hear me all right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. My name is Christina Rachel Martinez, and I'm just enjoying listening. But I wanted to know if there's any rules for the meeting that I missed.
Any rules as...
To participation.
No, we're pretty open forum here.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So...
I do have an idea, Barry. Just a thought. I'm not fully invested in even this idea, but what if we were to, his group is willing to do that just for the place to perform, and would they be willing to be a part, maybe even an extension of the summer concert series to see how that kind of idea would go?
Definitely.
And if we saw that it was a popular thing, billed in a regular performance setting, then that might be something that we could follow up with through the year after that.
Well, if we were gonna do this, we're targeting this February, and of course, then we wouldn't have concert series till July. So, any other thoughts on this?
Well, the idea was we have this ability to get music, learning tracks, and for unlimited copies, it just happened to be love songs. So my idea was to target like the week before Valentine's Day, but we can do this any other time of the year. Love songs are universal throughout the year.
Well, again, I don't, if the contribution of the council is a couple $100 and advertising, I don't see a downside to it. But again, if we put it on and we get 30 people there and we just say, okay, that's what we got and we're okay with that, then, you know, I don't see a lot of downside to doing this. It's always good to try to get people involved in other things, get them out of their comfort zones. But I guess we just can't feel a disappointment if we don't, you know, our concert series and things, we're happy if we get a few hundred people. If we put on a concert and we got 10 people show up, we might feel like maybe it wasn't worth the effort. But anybody else? Yay, nay? Do we have a quorum? Can we vote? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 plus Char and Sharon. Any thoughts?
Well, what exactly would we be voting on? That we're just going to try it at some point, that we're trying it on a specific date?
Yeah, this is.
What are we providing exactly?
Well, that's what we were just talking about, is that if we said, hey, let's target the 10th of February, we pay a couple $100 to buy the music, the rights to the music. We provide the hall, the city provides the hall. Nathan does a lot of the legwork on getting it all set up and the sound things, and we put together the advertising, at least on social media type things. It doesn't sound like there's a whole lot of buy-in here as far as from the council that requires a whole lot of work. It's an opportunity to get people involved. But again, I this sort of thing is focused on a certain part of the community, and you may get some, or you may be surprised. So if that's the contribution from the council, it's not a whole lot. Do we want to go ahead and sponsor this?
I have another thought.
Okay.
That kind of goes with what you're saying. What if we ask Nathan to get something down on paper to give us to vote on, with sure things like the amount that it would cost and what we would be agreeing to and what he would be agreeing to, and then we would know what we were voting on.
Right. Well, here's the situation, is that if this is going to be in February and we don't meet again till January,
Oh, yeah.
that may be a little late to then, put together a plan to do this. So
I just know that, you know, it takes a lot of coordination that Shar usually does for us whenever we have stuff. And I don't want anybody to be out on their own and nobody else being available. You know, that's all.
Couldn't we have that written up? And we could, if we needed to vote on it, we could just vote on it online.
Email.
Yeah.
What other kind of approvals do we need for use of the hall? I mean, is someone other than Charlene has to give us some kind of approval, or?
She's the one with all the power.
No, I mean, the Arts Council is an extension of the city, so we can absolutely use it. It's just about finding a date, and I can see if there's any conflict on the 10th. I don't see one right now, but I can double check that with the people who do all the scheduling, the primers.
Well, why don't we do this? Christina, did you have a thought?
Yes, I don't recall the lady that said she's worried about people not getting enough help, but I wanted to let you know that I can donate at least 10 hours a week of time to the city for free, if that's helpful. For this thing that you're working on, so that's it.
Sign her up.
Yes. Get her,
Well,
her information.
If you need to contact me for help for anyone in the group, my email address is lightforeagles@gmail.com. It's lightforeagles.com. And I'm happy to contribute to at least 10 hours a week for free for the city to help solve the problems that you're facing. That's it.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Why don't we do this?
Could you go 12 hours? No, never mind.
I have to eat food to survive, so I have to get a job, so sorry.
Shar, if you could check to make sure that that date is available. And then I think if we want to vote on a tentative, if everything lines up, I think we go ahead and do this and send out an email, and then everybody can email in their final yes, no, maybe so thing. I mean, again, if it doesn't turn out how we want, then we haven't lost a whole lot, and we've given something a shot at, you know, to get the community involved. Again, in my own personal opinion, I'm just worried that we won't get the turnout that we're hoping, and that we'll be disappointed. As long as, you know, as long as we're all on board with, we're gonna give it a shot, and whatever it is, then I'm okay with it. So,
One other thing to consider is that the local barbershop group produces their own shows twice a year. So we do this all the time.
good.
We know the steps that we need to take in order to get it right.
Yeah, that's why I'm not so worried about it, and especially if you're kind of doing the legwork on this, I'm not concerned that it won't get done. I am a little concerned that hope we don't overtax Shar and her feeling that she has to, you know, do legwork on this. So
I'm not worried about it. It's fine. We can absolutely accommodate it.
okay,
Whether I just sent an email checking to see if we could accommodate it on that day. So that's the one thing to follow back up on. But a lot of the groups really, you know, bring a big chunk of their own audience, which is preferred, you know, because kind of word of mouth really helps. And so if the group has, you know, friends who want to try it, and then family can invite people, it's a good way to get the audience kind of seated and rolling.
well, if we do it and we get 30 or 40 people, then maybe next year or the year after we get 70 or 80. And if this is something we want to continue, then word of mouth gets around, and you'll build up an audience for it. So let's if those that would like to tentatively approve this with making sure that we can get the facility I don't know if you want us, if we're on mute, say aye or raise your hand or however you want to do that. Kate says yes. John? John, are you there?
Sorry, I'm watching at work and got distracted for a moment.
We're asking for a tentative approval of sponsoring this event if the venue is available.
I think it's a good idea. I just, like was said, to have the details
Sure.
firmed up before we make the vote. But I think it's a great idea. Have something
Okay.
available for people to try out, something new.
Okay, so Nate will email us all a written proposal agenda. Starting time, I would guess, would be 7 or 7:30 or something like that.
Right.
And Shar will confirm that the hall is available that night, and then we will move forward on that basis. And then in January, when we meet again, then we can any last minute things, we need to work on that. So we'll move ahead. Did everybody get, with your email, look at the schedule for next year? The meetings are January, March, May, July, September, November, just like this year. And it's the third Friday of all of those months. Anybody have a problem with that or comment on that? I'm hoping in January that we are going to vote a new chair. Is that right?
In your dreams.
Did I hear a proposal for David to be the next, oh wait, we can't do that until January, never mind.
I take it this schedule works out well timing wise for the items that happen for Summerfest and such.
Yeah, because Summerfest is in June. It gives us a few meetings beforehand to talk about it, and then that May 20th meeting to, put together last minute details. Christina, did you have a thought?
Yes, I didn't get an email about any way I can follow up with anyone.
Well,
So it makes it hard to be able to help. Is there like a little place I could leave my email if anyone would like help?
Yes, I've taken down your email. I'm part
Okay.
of staff for the Arts Council. Are you interested in like applying to be on the council or just volunteering to help?
I just want to help.
Okay. All right, great. Yeah, I have that information
All
here.
right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, is there anything else anybody wants to bring up? Any other items? Okay, then, if nothing else, do we have anybody proposal for adjournment? Yeah. Cindy, any seconds?
Sure.
Okay, all right. Then we'll stand adjourned until January. We'll look for information from Nathan and also from Shaw on this sing-along for February, and then we'll have some more information there. So, thank you very much. We'll see you in January.
Happy holidays, everyone.
All right.
Thank you.